the homelessness crisis has been worsening across the United States, especially in the San Francisco Bay Area. We need a right to housing to reframe our goals and unite community activists toward a common goal. Before we start, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge a major objection to the right to housing. This objection is that we shouldn't have to spend our hard-earned money providing housing for others. While this objection certainly has validity, for me, as someone who's talked with people experiencing homelessness and seen their deplorable living conditions, I've been moved to think differently. After I learned about how the primary cause of homelessness has been bad policy and systemic racism, rather than the personal decisions of homeless individuals, I became convinced that the right to housing is an ethical necessity. Hi, my name is McBride. I'm a Hackworth Fellow at Santa Clara University, and I'm here to tell you about the right to housing. The right to housing is a right to live somewhere in security, peace, and dignity. To best understand this right, we need to examine the ethical basis for it, compare it to our current conception of housing rights, and look at how it would function from a practical perspective. The ethical basis for the right to housing is rooted in two places because of its existence at the intersection of the individual and the community. The right to housing exists for individuals because of the inherent dignity and respect that all humans bear. The right to housing from a communal perspective is based on the Aristotelian principle of promoting the flourishing of the community. This ethical focus holds that people living in a community have a responsibility to help promote the flourishing of this community. Over the last decade, there's been an average of 6 new jobs per 1 new unit of housing built in the Bay Area. This is far above the target value of 1.5 new jobs per new unit of housing, and points to the severe lack of housing in the Bay Area. A lack of housing harms the flourishing of the community directly and indirectly. It directly harms the members of the community experiencing homelessness, and it indirectly harms other members of the community by harming local businesses and straining the social security network. Providing housing for people helps alleviate all of these issues. This right does come with a caveat, which is that there are no rights without responsibility. That means in order to qualify for housing, one must have a willingness to be in housing. This positive right puts the onus on us as a community to provide housing for those who are homeless. It differs from the right to shelter, which only requires us to provide a place for people to spend the night. The right to shelter is important for supporting individuals, but it doesn't go far enough. This conception of the right to housing is also consistent with the Housing First policies, which have been shown to be the most efficient way of combating homelessness. Providing this right to housing involves multiple routes by which a community fulfills its responsibility. And the 3 primary routes are the free market, direct community action, and government policy. The free market solution requires us to modify zoning laws and regulations in order to promote the building of more affordable housing. The community action solution involves us as a community coming together to provide housing for homeless people. Finally, the governmental solution comes primarily in the form of Section 8 housing and permanent supportive housing. These, along with other solutions, will help guarantee the right to housing for all and help the community flourish. To learn more about the right to housing, please keep checking the YouTube channel of the Markkula Center for Applied Ethics at Santa Clara University. There will be more videos to come.